Today's a WRAL weather alert day. We do have a heat advisory and a level 1 risk for severe storms. I'll show you why it might feel just this much more comfortable than it did yesterday.
Firefight in Wake County. This is a live look right now. Major response this morning near Fuquay Arena, and the details we are learning from that very scene.
And tracking storm impacts. A series of storms moved through our area, bringing down trees, knocking out power for thousands. The repair work underway this morning.
4:30 is the time right now as we welcome you into another WRAL weather alert day, but it feels a little better out there.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Good to have you with us.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey in for an HU. We want to take a look at this video before we go to Elizabeth. We saw lightning move through our area early this morning. Take a look at this, recorded in Wake County shortly after midnight. You can see the night sky illuminated as lightning flashes multiple times. Grant Skinner got that video for us. It's just absolutely amazing. But I heard a lot of thunder yesterday, too.
Yeah, we had some activity going on out there. Let's get over to Elizabeth and see what we're going to look like today with this heat advisory.
So we had an excessive heat warning yesterday. It's back to a heat advisory today, still in the danger zone, but the heat index will feel like up to 106, and yesterday it was well over 110. It's a subtle difference. It's still dangerous. It's still a heat advisory and a weather alert day, so you still need to be cautious. This is a look at the way things will feel. The biggest difference is you'll have a little longer window in the morning if you are a morning outdoor exerciser. If you just have things you need to get done, it is going to feel like the 70s until 9, and then we don't get up to triple digits until right around lunchtime. We've been hitting triple digits at 9 o'clock, so a little longer window, and then we'll make it to 106, 107 for the heat index. At Fenton and Cary, looking at 76 right now with a dew point of 71. This time yesterday, the dew point was closer to 75, 76. We also have a level 1 risk for severe storms. Yesterday, it was level 2, so fewer storms producing wind damage today, but certainly we have that chance. That picks up right after lunchtime and lasts all the way until 9 or 10 o'clock. Coming up, I'll walk you through that on Futurecast.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Breaking news right now, crews are working the scene of a house fire in southern Wake County. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is on Fanny Brown Road near Fuquay Arena. Flynn, you're learning new information in the last 15 minutes about what happened there. What do we know?
Yeah, Michelle, good morning. Fuquay Arena fire officials tell us that one person was taken to the hospital as a result of this fire. I want to give you a sense of the massive response we've seen here on Fanny Brown Road this morning. We've seen several fire crews from Wake County, Fuquay Arena, and Garner EMS crews as well. And then if we pan over to the right here, give you a sense of the damage remaining from this fire. Fire officials from Fuquay Arena tell us that the call came in around 2:50, and they say that the fire appears to be centered towards the back of the house. You can see up towards the roof, the charred remains there. We saw some of the siding coming off of that house when we arrived, and then towards the base of the house, you can see that has been completely knocked out too. A massive hole there at the bottom of the house. Appears to be a lot of damage in the back deck as well. Fire officials tell us that one woman lives here at the home. That person was able to make it out okay, but they were taken to the hospital because of smoke inhalation. Right now, crews say they are still working to investigate how this fire started, and that they'll be here on the scene for a while longer working to determine that cause. For now, though, concerned neighbors we've seen coming out on their doorsteps, their front porches early this morning, trying to make sure everyone was okay and just trying to see what was going on. For now, though, one person taken to the hospital after this house fire on Fanny Brown Road near Fuquay Arena. A large police fire presence remains at this hour. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
And more breaking news. Those overnight storms knocked out power for thousands of people in our viewing area. And WRAL's Ali Kadlubar has been tracking these outages for hours in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. She joins us live now in Franklin County. Ali, what are you seeing out there?
Yes, Jeff. Well, we can see this gas station behind me, these gas pumps, and this gas station pitch black. This all happened within the last 2 hours. Duke Energy now reporting that this power outage here, which is affecting more than 1,000 customers here in Bunn, Franklin County area. This all happened because of fallen limbs or downed trees. This isn't the only damage that happened here in Franklin County in the last 24 hours. Here's a look at some pictures. This is from downed trees surrounding people's homes. In Wake and Nash counties, trees toppled over onto highways. A resident in Franklin County says the wind swept in quickly last night.
regular storm, and then all of a sudden it's like the wind just picked up out of nowhere. Honestly, I thought it was a tornado or something outside. It was out of nowhere.
Now, we've been searching for those Duke Energy crews for the past few hours. We haven't seen any, but Duke Energy outage map does say that crews are working to restore power. It does not give a time right now. We're going to keep you guys updated throughout the morning. Reporting in Franklin County, Ali Kathabar, WRAL News.
We're working to confirm whether Raleigh police have made an arrest after shots were fired at the Sheets on New Bern Avenue. This happened around 2 yesterday afternoon. First responder radio traffic indicates 2 people got into an argument outside the store, or inside the store, I should say, and that escalated to gunfire outside. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows a vehicle with its passenger window shot out and a tire flattened. Police say no one was hurt.
Today, sweeping changes to the state's foster care laws could be signed into law today. The legislation adds state oversight to North Carolina's foster care system. It gives state officials the authority to enforce rules within county-run social services departments accountable. Governor Josh Stein expected to sign the reforms into law this morning. And the legislation comes after a WRAL documentary exposed gaps in the state's foster care system. You can watch our documentary, Broken Foster Care in North Carolina, on WRAL.com or the WRAL YouTube page. The House will not move forward on the shrimp trawling ban. The ban would have pushed shrimp trawling offshore. Many critics said this would have destroyed the industry.
U.S. Education Secretary Linda McMahon was in the Triangle learning more about the biotech apprenticeship program at Wake Tech. She heard from representatives with biotech companies as well as leaders from the university. She also toured training labs at the college. Wake Tech's apprenticeship program gives students training in the classroom as well as on-site job training with major companies. McMahon says it's exciting to see this preparation paying off.
You're not just creating this industry, you're creating communities around this industry. And so all of the technical skills that are being taught are needed in that development. So it's everywhere from biotech, but it's carpentry, it's HVAC, it's everything combined.
More than 800 life science companies do business in North Carolina.
Newly filed search warrants are revealing more about the investigation into the shooting of 2 Minnesota lawmakers. We now know before the shooting, authorities were tracking Vance Balter's phone, which he turned off just after the murder of Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband. It was found at a Home Depot the next day. Search warrants also show that Balter's wife was not forthcoming with investigators when first contacted. She was found with the whole family's passports as well as $10,000 in cash and 2 guns. So far, she has not been charged with any crimes.
Becomes the second youngest teenager to be drafted #1 overall behind only LeBron James. And just 2 summers ago, he showed out at Rucker Park in Harlem as a 16-year-old. 22 months later and 14 miles south, Cooper Flagg on his way to shake hands with Commissioner Adam Silver, his first act as an NBA player. He's special, like I said.
Pretty big moves for Duke basketball star Cooper Flagg heading to Dallas. He was selected with the first pick in the NBA draft last night, and during his first and only college season, Flagg helped lead the Blue Devils all the way to the Final Four. He's the youngest player to be drafted #1, as you heard there, since LeBron James. Pretty good company. And the 6th Duke player to be picked first.
What an exciting night for him. Wow. Well, today, longtime WRAL reporter and anchor Charlie Gaddy will be laid to rest in Raleigh. For 24 years, Gaddy connected with our community, helping to tell stories and paving the way for journalism in the Triangle. Gaddy passed away earlier this month at the age of 93. A funeral service will be held at 11 a.m. today at Edenton Street United Methodist Church. The family will receive friends following the service.
Competitive video gaming, esports, will take over the Lenovo Center this weekend. Starting today, 16 of the world's best Rocket League players will compete for more than $350,000 and championship points to qualify for the World Tournament later this year. Rocket League is played by millions and made by Cary-based developer Epic Games. Tickets for this weekend's championship matches are available now.
Coming up on 440, a shocking scare. A woman caught in a terrifying moment on Lake Murray shares what she saw and how it all unfolded in seconds.
That brutal heat felt like 100 plus for days now. We'll explain the reason behind this dangerous heat wave.
And temperatures will climb dangerously high again today. This is a live look at Fenton and Cary this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner times out our chance for showers and storms this afternoon.
The WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
443 heat advisory goes into effect at 11 o'clock. It's going to feel like up to 106 today, which is just a category below what we were seeing yesterday, where we were looking at 110 or hotter. It is still the danger zone, so you still need to take precautions. It is likely that we'll be feeling like 102 by the time we get to lunchtime, and then again looking at 105, 106 into the afternoon. We also have a chance for some scattered thunderstorms. We had a bunch of those last night. I'll show you where some of the storm reports were. But things are drying out nicely. That's a look at downtown Raleigh, 68 Roxborough, 72 Fayetteville, 73 and Goldsboro, 71 Rocky Mountain. Temperatures are running, just a hair cooler than they were this time yesterday. This afternoon, a 30% chance of thunderstorms. We have a level 1 risk for severe storms. I'll walk you through it on Futurecast in just a few minutes.
This morning, we were hearing from a woman who was in the water when lightning struck at Lake Murray in South Carolina. Tegan Billiot was in the water with her family when that strike came down, hitting a metal cable with buoys attached to it. More than 20 people were hurt, and when Billiot managed to get out of the water, she says she knew something wasn't right.
I started throwing up. I'm like, something's wrong. I really need something. I was buckled in, and all I know is I heard him say we're 10 minutes ETA, and then it just went black. Everything just went completely black.
Billiot says she lost feeling on the left side of her body for several hours. She is now out of the hospital and doing much better.
Wow, that's scary. Well, a rally at the state capitol focuses on curbing domestic violence. The group wants to pass a law requiring judges to be trained and educated on domestic violence and child abuse. It's called Jesse's Law, named for a little boy who was killed in 2012 by his father. The legislation would keep children out of the care of abusive parents. The bill has already passed the House unanimously.
It shouldn't be a partisan issue. It shouldn't be an issue between the House and the Senate, who sometimes have to negotiate on things. This is just something that we must do for North Carolina, for our families, and especially for our children.
In 2018,
and the bill will now go to a Senate committee. Well, the Wake County School Board is discussing how generative AI can be used in the classroom. It was a topic of discussion at yesterday's board meeting. Wake Schools has informally embraced AI and are teaching students how to use it. A policy would establish a consistent set of guidelines for all schools. These guidelines would be publicly available for students and parents to see.
There are more places to sit in downtown Raleigh. The city's transportation team added more lookout tables around City Plaza, and this is what they look like. You can take a seat, enjoy the view, and see Fayetteville Street from a little different angle.
Well, WRAL's latest documentary investigates the shocking increase in cancer trends among young people in North Carolina. Diagnosis Young, the new face of cancer in North Carolina, explores who is being impacted and why. We hear from patients, doctors, and researchers about possible causes, from environmental to ultra-processed foods. Diagnosis Young premieres tonight at 7:30 on WRAL, WRAL streaming platforms, and WRAL's YouTube channel.
All week we've felt the scorching heat here in North Carolina. For 4 straight days, it has felt hotter than 100 degrees outside. And yesterday's heat index reached 111. WRAL's Liz McLaughlin explains what's driving the concerning spike and how to stay safe.
Climate change loads the dice for all kinds of extreme weather, but scientists call heat the deadliest. Nationwide, it kills more people than hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes combined. Sonia Lloyd came with her grandkids to cool off at the Chavis Park splash pad in Raleigh.
I'm 60 years old, so this heat right here is too much for me. But this right here make it all right.
Lloyd's fan-equipped hat and tall tumbler are survival gear as the triangle swelters through triple-digit temps for a 3rd straight day.
So we try to be good and prepared, keep hydrated,
Wednesday's heat index climbed to 111 degrees in Raleigh and earned a climate shift index level of 5, meaning climate change made the day's heat at least 5 times more likely.
In 2024, planet-warming carbon pollution surged at the fastest annual rate of record. And this heat-trapping pollution is driving earlier, hotter summers.
Summers in the Raleigh-Durham area have risen nearly 4.5 degrees since the 1970s and now include 39 more extreme heat days. As temperatures rise, so do hospital visits.
Certain populations are more at risk of illness from extreme heat, so that could include outdoor workers, infants and children, the elderly, pregnant people.
In May, there were 317 heat-related ER visits statewide, and there have already been more than 680 in June, according to the Department of Health and Human Services.
You know, whatever I think people can do to help themselves to stay healthy and stay out the hospital and the doctor's office. That's what we need to do.
Another danger is what's underfoot. Paved surfaces like this parking lot can be up to 9 degrees hotter than nearby green spaces. In Raleigh, I'm Liz McLaughlin, WRAL News.
Yeah, we are not out of the woods yet either. It's going to be hot the next couple of days. We're tracking that. Elizabeth Garner also tracking the next weather maker.
Here's a look at what's happening out there. The reason that we've been so hot is this high pressure system has been sitting over us, creating this big giant heat dome. It begins to slide off to the east a little bit for it today and ease up the heat just a little bit. But one thing that it did, it helped to fire up some thunderstorms yesterday. We had some damage. We're going to talk about where most of the damage was, but you can see it's over now. Most of the stronger storms also to our south and west are beginning to taper off a little bit. But we do have a level 1 risk again for today and tomorrow as well for just a chance of some wind damage. But yesterday it was a level 2, so we're going to knock it down a notch. Here's a look at Futurecast this afternoon. Starting at around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, a few isolated cells pop up. I'll tell you, it doesn't look like much today, but the models didn't show a whole lot yesterday either. So there's probably going to be a bit more coverage than we're seeing on the models. This is a tough thing for the models to handle. We don't have a big cold front coming through, which is pretty easy to time out. These are just little pop-up cells, and so it sometimes can be difficult for the models to really get a good grasp on that. Heat advisory for today, instead of an extreme heat warning, looking at heat index up to 106, keeping us out of the teens, but still definitely very hot, and you still have the potential to run into some problems. Triple digits by noon, and then feeling like 105 to 106 during the afternoon. So another hot day, again, up to 106 for today. For all of central North Carolina. It is looking like we may end up seeing a heat index in the low triple digits for tomorrow and into the weekend, but maybe not making it to heat advisory criteria. Here's a live look at Zebulon this morning. We're at 76 with a dew point of 71. So don't get me wrong, we're not seeing a big cool down. We still have a heat advisory. It's a hot start out there this morning. 97 in Raleigh, 98 in Durham, 97 in Fayetteville. The big heat dome that's been with us stays here for the next several days. Gradually it begins to weaken a little bit, and that will help to cool things down, but it's still going to be awfully hot. Our high temperatures are in the 90s all the way until next Wednesday. Once we get into next week, we still have a good chance for some scattered thunderstorms, and that may help to cool things down just a bit.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Radio Legends return. A collection of classic air checks is now just a click away, and some of the biggest names in the radio are part of it.
The cost of coverage is climbing. Car insurance premiums are getting a hike. Why we're seeing the change and how much more you can expect to pay.